we need a new level of responsibility. And there is no answer in politics because they don't even understand any of it. They don't care because politics is a company, and that company wants to look good. And so that company goes, we'll send you checks. Look how nice we are. That company says, we'll add money so everything feels okay right now, but it feels okay right now only if you're not conscious about what's happening. When you're conscious about it, you can look down the road 3 years, not even further, and go, wow, this is going to be really devastating. Now, that doesn't mean we have to live in fear. That doesn't mean that we have to be frustrated with the government, because there's plenty of reasons to find frustration. It means instead of taking the time complaining and doing things that don't matter, it's time just to really invest in ourselves.
Garrett, you had mentioned that with all of the money being pumped into the U.S. economy, that we have some concerns about inflation and what that means to our future wealth and ability to, take care of ourselves, and what does it do to our purchasing power. So do you just want to speak a little bit on your thoughts on inflation and what that means for investments, but also just personal finance in general?
Inflation is very inconvenient because what it means is that we're no longer allowed to just go about trading time for money, just earning what we've always earned and hoping for the best. It means everyone has to become more astute and have more financial literacy, because inflation really hurts the middle class more than anyone else in the poor. Because if we look at, we haven't really had the inflation in people's salaries especially like government workers, as we've had in the prices of what we're purchasing. We just got a new home, and apparently you can't use all the same furniture from your old home when you have a different size and style of home. So I've just learned that we're buying furniture and replacing our front door, which for some reason. But last time we bought a house, my wife made it 10 times better. So I'm trying to just roll with it. But now they said furniture prices have gone up 10% in the last 2 weeks, and that those won't come back down, right? So that impacts so many people. When we look at, there's just things that will be more expensive, which means economic independence is even more important today. Because if people are going to try to take 10% of their income and save it and try to earn 10% on that and wait for 30 years from now, that money might be worth so little. It's kind of like in 1980, Randy, like if you talk to some of your older clients and asked them in 1980, like if you would have been able to ask them what a good amount in retirement was in 1980 for a retirement plan, what do you think the common answers would be for someone in 1980?
Maybe 200,000-300,000.
Think about that, 200,000 to 300,000, because they had no concept of what inflation was going to do to their money. And so, I remember when I moved to Salt Lake, gas was 99 cents. It's $4 now. That's 400% in 20 years. We look at college tuition. We look at, nursing homes. We look at the price of a lot of food. I mean, inflation is impacting us. So it means we've got to have inflation like adjusted investments. It means that even though crypto can be scary and confusing and overwhelming, and a lot of it is trash, some of it is the future. And it means we can't just go, well, I don't have time for it anymore. We have to get more strategic with our time. And the way to get more strategic with our time to address inflation is we have to start carving out a little bit of time for our money and our finances. This notion of someone is going to take care of us, that's never really worked in any form of society ever. Communism has been a failed experiment forever. Hey, we'll take care of you. Well, who's we? And do you have the capacity to take care of me? The same with the financial industry. If they're like, we'll take care of you, they don't have the capacity or the know-how or any of that to do it. It means we have to get more educated. This is like I wasn't thinking, hey, it's a good idea. We should start doing master classes all over the nation in a pandemic because that would be convenient. I was like, we have to do this because we have the knowledge, because we can help people in these topics that we're going to be devastated with if we don't address them. And look, it was inconvenient for me. I just wanted to write comedy and books. I just wanted to go play at my cabin. But then inflation was like, if you want to rest easy, you better start helping other people with this, because these are the people you love the most. I come from a small coal mining town. I have a family that's in their retirement years that inflation will start to confiscate their ability to go enjoy their life in the years that they've worked so hard to finally enjoy. And so what it really means is we need a new level of responsibility. And there is no answer in politics because they don't even understand any of it. They don't care, because politics is a company, and that company wants to look good. And so that company goes, we'll send you checks. Look how nice we are. That company says, we'll add money so everything feels okay right now, but it feels okay right now only if you're not conscious about what's happening. When you're conscious about it, you can look down the road 3 years, not even further, and go, wow, this is going to be really devastating. Now, that doesn't mean we have to live in fear. That doesn't mean that we have to be frustrated with the government, because there's plenty of reasons to find frustration. It means instead of taking the time complaining and doing things that don't matter, it's time just to really invest in ourselves. So what are the skill sets that are going to set you free, that'll let you add more value? What is the vision that is more powerful than the deflation of our dollar through inflation? What is the hobby that allows you to enjoy life so that you are refreshed and rejuvenated and relaxed enough to be the creative person that you were meant to be? In these times that are as scary as today, hobbies have never been more important, because it's time to find who we are and listen to ourselves instead of the rest of the world. And when we find that inner voice, inflation won't matter. It's just that most people can't find their inner voice because inflation is so scary and loud that we're hoping someone will save us, but no one can, because they've already opened that can of worms, because they've already gone down the path of, we're going to vote ourselves into the treasury, we're going to make ourselves look temporarily good at the expense of our kids and grandkids in the future. But you don't have to participate. It's not a dictatorship. Will that change the value of your money? Yes. It just means you have to make better financial decisions to combat that. It just means that you have to create a vision so important and compelling that it is going to drive more value into the world, and more money will follow. I saw a quote from a politician yesterday that they said, I can't believe companies are looking to raise their prices because they're concerned about inflation. I'm like, I can't believe that you think that they're not going to, but it just shows how disconnected they are. So Amanda, what an important question. And an answer that I'm giving is not the answer most people are giving. Most people are saying, you're in trouble. Try to, we're screwed. It's over. No. It just means that we're going to have to add more value, and you have more value to add within you, not by working harder, not by doing more, but by creating a vision that matters. We're in a world with plenty of problems, plenty of dismay, plenty of frustration, and people want leadership. That leadership will not come from people behind a pulpit that are trying to get votes, but people that actually care to connect with the rest of humanity. We're here in Free Flow to help people heal with money, because we know that money is a blinder that prevents them from connecting to themselves and others. We know that once that veil is lifted, once they can see who they are and who other people are, that we help plant a seed and they will be empowered to move forward. We're not here to dictate what to do, how to do it. We're just here to help give at least the initial part so people get on the right track and then pave their own way. That's kind of what we're about. So yeah, probably a different answer than some were expecting. So Steve says to do some comedy on politicians' economic incompetence. Yeah, so we're about economic independence. They're about economic incompetence. I mean, imagine if, like, here's some comedy. Imagine, like, if we're a business and we run out of money and we're like, that's cool. We're just going to write some checks for more. We're just going to add some more to the computer and send it people's way because we have an unlimited Venmo account. Can we even blame that politicians make bad decisions? Because every business would make bad decisions with an unlimited checking account. Look at it. Look at overfunded companies. They always do devastatingly stupid things. When we have too much cash, then we are crazy. It's important to have a bigger vision than your existing cash so you can grow into it versus more cash than your vision so you decimate it. So vision is the commodity that we're missing in this world. So have a vision that matters. And that's your biggest way to battle inflation.
Want to master your money? Want to figure out the things that you could do to improve your finances? Click here and check out more videos like this on Money Matters.